Stuart, Nicky still make headlines coming back into the squad for the first time in 3 years. Can you talk a bit about what he's done to force his way back in?
I think for us it's about bringing a specialist number 8 back in to replace Ben Morgan. We're going to bring Nick into this camp, and then we've got Tom Waldron playing in the Saxons game, and we'll make a decision after that week. But no, I think having gone through the experience 2 years ago where obviously we didn't have a specialist number 8 and Tom Wood was playing there, I think we want to make sure we've got that base covered. Billy Van der Poel obviously in great form, but I'm sure Nick will put pressure on, and he deserves his place on the form he's been in.
He was someone you chose not to include 3 years ago. What's changed, do you think, in the intervening years?
I think the main reason we didn't pick Nick or many others like him really was to invest time and experience into a new group of players coming through. And I think my message to Harlequin, certainly in Conor O'Shea, has always been clear that if he's playing well enough come the World Cup time, then obviously we'd consider him. But when we had no other number 8 in the country with any experience whatsoever, I think Ben Morgan needed to sort of come and stake a claim, as did Billy Van der Poel. And I think the strategy's been the right one. And obviously Nick's now, credit to him, is still playing well and he's back in.
Jonathan Joseph is someone who's playing very well for Bath at the moment. What's he done, do you think, to get himself in this position where he's going to be considered for the Test side?
Well, I think he's backed up a great start to the season up until Christmas. He came into camp once or twice with an exceptional second half of the season to date. Bath have played some great rugby, and obviously the game at the weekend for against Toulouse was outstanding, really. So his decision making, his skill execution, his pace, his footwork, his breakdown ability have all been top drawer, and he deserves to be back in there.
Can you give us an insight into the selection process you go through? How often do you meet? How often do you speak to the coaches? And what sort of things you're looking for from the players?
Well, we watch every game, every week, every minute of every game. So all 4 coaches do the same, and we meet every week and we give a player an assessment on the criteria which we think are important for their position. It gives them a rating score, and obviously we use that rating to formulate our assessment. So it's based over consistency and high performance over time. That plus what we know about the player, the experiences we've had them in the past, and the way we want to play the game, that all comes together to formulate the decision. It's probably the most complicated part of the job, the most difficult part of the job that you want to get right, because you want the right players in camp. And it's probably worth saying that we're still 2 weeks away from actually naming the side against Wales, and often as coaches you can watch as many games as you like, but it's only when you get them into camp can you actually really begin to start working with them, analysing the games from the Premiership in Europe, and then coaching them, and then effectively put them against each other. And that helps then really formulate your decision about who you pick in the starting 15.
Cipriani is someone who's coming into camp this time. Has he built on, do you think, the success he had in New Zealand on tour?
Yeah, he's played well. He's played well this season. It's a very competitive position, fly half. With Owen and George, obviously, and Stephen Marler all playing well in big games for their clubs. So Danny's come in. I've watched him quite a lot recently, and he's improved his consistency, which is what we've been talking to him about. So defence is getting better. Obviously his goal kicking is a key component of a 10's armoury, and he's been working hard at that. So he's in the mix, and as I said, once you get him into camp, that's when you really begin to coach and work with them.
5 Lions returning the pack as well. Graham Roundtree must be incredibly pleased about that. How important are they as players, but also as people and personalities around the camp?
I think experience is important, and experience of international rugby, experience of British Lions rugby, experience of being around this England team for 2 or 3 years is important. And not only that, the high quality players, so the likes of Tom Youngs, Dan Cole, Alex Cobicero, Mako Van der Poel, etc. They're very, very good players, and it's tough on the lads who played well for us in autumn, but obviously they'll get their opportunities in the Saxons. And now we're 9 months away from a World Cup. It's actually all about the Wales game, but also in my mind a World Cup training squad, so there's still plenty to play for. Can
you give us an update on Courtney Laws and Manu Tuilagi as well, and their potential involvement in this campaign?
Yeah, Manu's obviously still recovering from his groin injury, and obviously he's in Leicester's safe hands. The priority for him is to get back playing club rugby. If he gets back playing club rugby, then obviously we can consider him for international rugby, but that's a priority, and I know he's still a couple of weeks away from that. So in my mind, obviously I'm not considering him in the short term. I'll judge him as and when he gets back to play for Leicester.
And Courtney Laws, when do you hope to have him back?
Yeah, Courtney's had a minor ankle operation, so a bit of a clear out, and we're hoping that's going to get rid of a bit of joint irritation that he had. It shouldn't be too long, but again, it's probably a 2 or 3 weeker, and when you're this close to the Six Nations, it rules him out the first 2 games. And again, a lot will depend on his rehab and recovery as we lead into the Ireland game. But we've not ruled him out of Ireland, but equally, we've got to make decisions now in the short term based around the Wales game. That's the priority.